You may consider yourself more of an intermediate or even advanced lifter at this point, which is great. You might be thinking, Giselle, what are some common mistakes that intermediate or advanced lifters make when it comes to strength training? Let's get into it. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Giselle. I'm a personal trainer and I'm here to help you maintain a healthy, sustainable lifestyle. The first mistake that intermediate or advanced lifters make is assuming that a workout program from a beginner to intermediate to advanced is very different. It's not like that. There are several differences, which is basically time, the amount of time you've been working out. And I feel like past that, you can be considered intermediate or advanced. But at the same time, I feel like it does depend on your overall habits, your discipline, your level of discipline, and where you're at with that. And it also just depends on strength. So usually a beginner is not going to be as strong as someone who's intermediate or advanced, right? So over time, the more you keep lifting, guess what? The stronger you're going to get. If you even look at bodybuilders, guess what? They do squats, they do lat pull downs, they bench press. They do the same stuff that you're probably doing right now. They're just stronger. They lift more weight, they do more reps. It's more controlled or it's more intense, right? But it's the same exercises. So yeah. But for people who are not competing, for people who are not an athlete, if you're just lifting to lift and maintain muscle, build strength, lose body fat, bulk, or whatever, don't think that it's very, very different, because honestly, it's really not. The second mistake that intermediate or advanced lifters can make is you can be a little too focused on volume when you really should focus on intensity with your workouts. If you saw my previous video of common mistakes that beginners make when it comes to strength training, I did mention that some people can neglect the whole concept of progressive overload. They're doing the same reps and same weight all the time. They're not really pushing themselves or challenging themselves. So not to say that that's not important for intermediate or advanced lifters, because it absolutely is. This is a literal fact. But another part of progressive overload is intensity. And you need to be able to gauge what failure looks like for you, training to failure, right? Because you can think you're training to failure and you're pushing until you're tired, but maybe you can push a little bit more. It's just a matter of discipline, or it's just a matter of being in tune with your body and learning your body and learning how strong you really are. You have to be able to gauge your RIR, which is your reps in reserve. What is that? Let's say you're going for I always struggle saying that, RIR, then that means that you are pushing that set until you have about 2 reps left in your tank. You're not pushing all the way to failure, because that would be 0 RIR, right? So you get the concept. So again, intensity is super important, and that's something that's going to really help you get stronger over a period of time rather than volume. Because the more you lift, meaning time-wise, the longer you are lifting for, the harder it is to make progress. So just adding another set or adding volume to your workout program is not going to be the number one answer. The third mistake intermediate or advanced lifters can make is having a poor recovery routine. So rest and recovery are crucial aspects of fitness. I did mention this in the previous video, but you have to get a good recovery routine down for you and your body, because that's going to enhance your progress. For example, you need to make sure you are resting long enough in between your sets. When you're a beginner, you can get away with a lot of stuff. You can get away with resting for a minute, okay? Once you start lifting for a long period of time, you cannot get away with that minute rest anymore. You got to look into resting for about 2 to 5 minutes, depending on the set, meaning depending on the weight, depending on the intensity of that set, right? You have to give your body enough time to rest, your nervous system enough time to rest and do its thing before you hit that set again. The fourth mistake that some intermediate or advanced lifters make is ignoring their weak points. Don't ignore your weak points. Don't avoid exercises that can target those weak areas, because if you do, you are literally limiting yourself from not only making progress, but getting stronger in those areas. And that right there can lead to some muscle imbalances, and that's another thing that's just gonna kind of slow you down over time. It's not something that really kind of happens quickly or right away, or depending, but it can happen over time. I feel like intermediate and advanced lifters can make this mistake because I think it's low-key a little bit of ego, because you've been lifting for some time now and you just don't want to invest time into those weak areas or those muscle imbalances. You'd rather just keep going and keep doing what you're doing with your lifts and lift the weight that you're lifting and push yourself and all those things. So yeah, just don't do that. Try to address those weak points as much as you can. It's only going to help you. The fifth mistake that some intermediate or advanced lifters can make is chasing numbers over quality. So I think this also has to do with a little bit of ego. I'm a deadlift 315, I'm a bench 315, 405, whatever, right? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having goals and there's nothing wrong with trying to get there. But at the same time, you have to make sure that the reps that you're doing, the sets that you're doing are looking smooth, controlled. There are moments where you're going to be pushing yourself, and there are times where I'm pushing myself and my form is not exactly the best when I'm doing certain exercises. So I get it. I'm not saying every rep you do has to be perfect. It won't be. But at the same time, I'm just trying to emphasize this can become a bad habit. The sixth mistake that some intermediate or advanced lifters can make is not listening to your body. You don't really know when to push yourself more or when you need to rest. And that actually can come down to discipline. I think a lot of people have the wrong idea of discipline and think it's just no rest, no pain, no gain, like that type of mentality. But no, having discipline is freedom, because you are able to determine when you can push yourself and when you need rest, when you need to chill out. That's a powerful thing to know, because a lot of people don't know that. And a lot of people continue pushing themselves, injuring themselves, pushing through injuries, whether they're big injuries or minor injuries. They keep pushing themselves even when they can just have a freaking rest day. Like, it's no big deal, but no, they just want to push and push and push and push and push. If you don't listen to your body's going to force you to rest by getting sick, getting injured, and then you're going to be more mad. It's easy to go ham and it's easy to go fast, but it's not easy to take a step back. It's not easy to go a little slower. That's hard for a lot of people. Alright, that's pretty much it for today's video. Honestly, it was a little hard coming up with these mistakes because I just feel like it's easier to come up with a lot of beginner mistakes. But again, like I said in the beginning, some things are just not that different from beginner to intermediate to advanced. Honestly, right now, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like if I were to think about all the mistakes that I just mentioned in this video, I think the one thing that I am kind of struggling with right now is being able to increase intensity instead of volume. And the reason why is because I'm cutting right now and I'm trying to train with intensity as much as I can, but it's kind of hard because I'm cutting, I'm in a calorie deficit, I'm not eating as much, I'm not feeling my body with enough energy as I should normally on a regular basis. So that's been kind of tough, but I'm still trying. And I even worked out today. I did glutes and hammies. I think I did a great job, and little by little I'm just trying to gauge my intensity and just meet my body where it's at too. So that also goes to the last point. You have to listen to your body. Like, I am pushing myself and trying to get intense in the gym, but at the same time I am in a calorie deficit. I have to meet my body where it's at. There are some weeks where I'm going to be able to push more. There are some weeks where I may not be able to push as much, and that's fine. What matters is consistency. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope this video helped you guys out. Please leave any questions down in the comments below. If you have any video requests, please go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to make a video for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Turn on those post notifications so you get notified on your phone every time I upload a brand new video. Alright guys, will you stay tuned for my next video. Bye!